Did you guys see DM leaks where he was DMing that journalist? And
No? No,
well,
what happened?
so effectively he goes, yeah, it's pretty easy to scam people when you think then everyone thinks you're a good guy. He effectively just alludes to the fact that it's a big scam, I
Wow.
bar, but it's
He
so easy people think you're such a good guy.
he did an interview where he was describing like his crypto business plan, and he was describing a pyramid scheme. Like he was just like totally fine about it. He was like, "Yeah, that's what we're doing." He's like, "As long as I get out with money, we're good." Alrighty, hey, welcome back to the Teen Finance Podcast. Today we're joined by a special guest. We have, can I call you Max? Is that the All right? I'm here with Max Bunting from SpacePay. So, Max, I want you to be able to give yourself a quick intro. Tell us about yourself. Tell us about your company, what you do, all that.
Yeah, sure. Okay. So I'm Max, as he said. I'm the CEO of SpacePay, a cryptocurrency payment platform in the UK. We're the largest cryptocurrency platform in the UK, for that matter. Actually, I'm 20 years old. I started it when I was 18, so straight out of school. Effectively, lockdown hit. I was already investing, but I invested heavy into crypto stocks, options, etc. Garnered a sizable portfolio, I guess, relative to my bank. We have cryptocurrency. When lockdown was the restrictions lifted, I went out in stores looking to spend my cryptocurrency. Couldn't find anywhere to do it, so created SpacePay. Partnered with some pretty big names already, and we're raising our first private financing round right now, and we just started 2 weeks ago. So yeah,
Wow,
just
that's it. Congratulations. That's
a bit of
exciting stuff.
absolutely for sure stressful times.
Yeah. So, do you guys do hardware and software? Is it just software?
Yes, sir, both.
Wow. Okay. So you have like your physical. I saw on your website this little like reader thing. Is that like the
Yeah.
way that they accept
So
payments?
yeah, so effectively we are pivoting from that now. Obviously, we're in such um, a crucial part in the business's life in terms of we're so close to launch, but we're pivoting to the fact that it's not me a POS device more than it's going to be a QR code display. Effectively, we think that for the retailers it reduces their costs even more, and
Yeah.
it's a bit more consumer friendly also.
Yeah. Where you run into problems like manufacturing your physical readers and stuff, it's just like a lot of like extra work.
Yeah, hardware is extremely difficult.
Yeah, I can
I had
imagine.
2 a.m. with people from Korea, and it's been a conversation. And yeah, it's really stressful because if you get the model even the tiniest bit wrong, it's game over effectively. So you've got to be very careful with your hardware for sure, much more so than your software.
Yeah. Um, when you're negotiating with like people in different countries and stuff, are there like different challenges that you run into while you're like such a
Yeah,
young person?
I mean, just not in terms of negotiation per se, but in general, being a young person has its running a company has its benefits and it's a fair amount of negatives as well. I guess the biggest one when you're young is people don't necessarily take you as seriously as they should do. Right, you might
Yeah.
be because you're so young, it doesn't really matter. You're still a young guy in their eyes, effectively. But yeah, there's quite a few, I guess, mainly pros in my personal opinion to running a business young. Um, because there's some things, if you're older, you've got more liabilities. You can't necessarily take the risk you can at such a young age, right? If you've got a
Absolutely.
wife, 2 kids, you can't necessarily go, okay, I'm starting this business now, and if it fails, I'll do something else. Whereas at our age, try and fail as much as possible is the motto, right? But hopefully not with this one. We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see.
Yeah, that's something we try to push. I feel like as much as possible. Just like, take your risk while you're young because you can afford to like mess up and then you can come back to it and like use
Yeah,
everything you've learned to like, take everything from a better angle and use what you've learned
for
to
sure. Sure. I
use
mean,
better
it's
success.
great for discipline as well. And when I started it, I wasn't necessarily so disciplined. At like 18, right? I was just came out of school. I didn't know what I wanted to do necessarily, and it really motivates you to work hard and do stuff like at certain times, look after yourself, etc. It's actually very beneficial for sure.
How'd you get into investing in crypto? I wonder just because like I wonder how similar our paths were because I think I don't know. Maseo had been investing longer than me, but I started around like the time we went to lockdown.
I mean, my friends were telling me for a long time prior, like throughout the whole of sixth form. So sixth form in ours is when you're 16, 17, then 17 to 18. Like one friend Rob, he was telling me non-stop, you got to invest, you got to invest. And I was like, took a look into it. I was like, no.
I mean, that was pretty much what it was like with Maseo and I. Maseo was like,
Yeah.
try it out. It's worth it. But I was like, I don't know. I guess I lagged. Like you tried to Maseo tried to get me on it for like a while, and I was like, like getting past that barrier of like buying your first like
Yeah.
share of whatever is like something that you're like. It feels like you're putting your money up at risk, which is something that I mean I haven't done before that, but I guess it's riskier. I mean, once you come to the realization that it's riskier to like hold cash long term,
Yeah.
then
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, I now am a big advocate to all my friends purchasing cryptocurrency, not necessarily right at this current moment in time, but prior to, I'm still a big advocate for DCAing into the market now, even with the current climate. Although I am shorting quite a few different tokens to speak. But yeah, I'm a very big advocate for investing,
yeah.
especially.
Um, what are your thoughts on the crypto market currently with everything going on?
I think the FTX thing is just every day a new out. It's completely blowing my mind. I mean, today, or it possibly last night, where Sam Bankman-Fried, when FTX raised the $420 $690,000, 300 million went straight into his pocket. I mean, that is crazy. Alameda gave him a loan of $1 billion. They were purchasing houses in the Bahamas, etc., and also having polyamorous orgies, which is
Yeah. we talked a little bit about this on our last episode. We were like totally bewildered about the whole situation, but
absolutely crazy. And then did you guys see DM leaks where he was DMing that journalist? And
no.
No, what happened?
so effectively he goes, yeah, it's pretty easy to scam people when you think then everyone thinks you're a good guy. He effectively just alludes to the fact that it's a big scam, like
Wow.
bar, but it's
He
so easy people think you're such a good guy.
he did an interview where he was describing like his crypto business plan, and he was describing a pyramid scheme. Like he was just like totally fine about it. He was like, "Yeah, that's what we're doing." He's like, "As long as I get out with money, we're good." And I
Literally,
mean, I guess he did, right? He still has like $500 million in like some VC fundware somewhere or like some hedge fund.
I mean, he's got. I think he'll have probably a bit more of that scattered all over the place. However, I
Yeah,
don't. I don't think the future's looking too bright for Mr. Sam in the in the near future. But I
he
think he came out recently and said he wants to release a new project, I believe. And then Kevin
No
O'Leary did
way.
so against it. Kevin O'Leary didn't even hate it, and it's like what?
who's gonna trust him with their money?
literally,
Yeah, why would
literally.
anyone?
Luna 2.0 though, right? That's what Do Kwon tried to do. He tries to
I
do the
know,
exact.
no, like once you do something like that, you ruin your reputation to the point where like I don't know, you maybe like got out with some money, had those short term gains, but like I really don't know who's gonna like. Actually, I don't know. I don't underestimate the willingness of some people to go do like dumb stuff like that.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think it makes it quite abhorrent that full transparency is needed in all of these big exchanges, right? I think Crypto.com, I think, recently stated that 20% of their reserves was in Shiba Inu, which isn't very bullish.
Wow.
But I think it's very important for exchanges and cryptocurrency companies in general to be extremely transparent with the community. If not, it's definitely not good for the community stuff like this for sure. Makes headlines though, but not necessarily.
Any publicity is not good publicity in crypto.
Yeah.
What are you guys doing for your transparency stuff? I guess that's not like a huge deal with your business
So
per se,
yeah,
but
we've signed a partnership deal with Smith's News PLC, which gives us access to 25,500 retailer brands.
mhm.
One of them, which has 2,000 stores.
Wow.
Uh, Full transparency in terms of books and everything. On our first day of launch, we should make £15,000 in revenue.
Wow.
Not from that deal, but from pre-agreed retailers we got signed up. Bar that deal. In terms of it's a bit different with us because we're not necessarily a cryptocurrency company, rather payment software, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. We don't hold consumers' funds or take consumers' funds and invest in startups, things like that. We are literally just a mediator for payments, effectively trying to bring crypto to retail, which I think is very important. Um, so we're not necessarily the same as exchanges in that, but in all involvement we have with crypto, we will be transparent.
How do you guys deal with like the volatility brought on by crypto?
Yeah, so that's like the biggest question we get.
Yeah.
Retailers. So effectively, there's multiple different ways we can deal with it. One of the ways is basically the consumer will spend their cryptocurrency, the retailer will get paid in stablecoins, USDC, and from that,
Mm-hmm.
press on the bus on the back end, convert that to pounds like that, or dollars in your case, guys.
Yeah.
But another way is they can accept it just as a cryptocurrency. So you pay an ETH, they receive ETH, they then can convert that to stable coins, convert that into pounds, dollars, and or they can get paid in the crypto and it just goes straight into pounds in their account. In reality, I can see most retailers accepting it as in pounds, and as stable coins. I can't see too many retailers accepting it as cryptocurrency in its purest form due to the
Who
volatility.
knows in the future though? Like it's possible.
That's the
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
We're infrastructure for right now. What we want to do is build the infrastructure for later on down the line. Hence why we don't want to release dated models like a POS device or something like that. We want to
Yeah.
release that are somewhat timeless, if that makes sense. So we know when cryptocurrency become a larger thing, we'll be there to do it. But saying that, Visa released their cryptocurrency cards and did $2.5 billion worth of transaction volume in their first quarter of release. So there is quite a lot of transactions going on. Visa's huge, but yeah, it's market not right now, but the next bull run, I think we'll see quite a large volume of transactions.
I
Yeah. So
know. Oh, go
oh,
ahead. I'm
sorry.
sorry.
So I was just wondering, like what stablecoin do these companies get paid out in? Like, do they choose a stablecoin and do you guys change it, or is there one that you stick by?
So we stick with USDC. We offer multiple different cryptocurrencies the retailer can accept. However, ultimately down to them. We offer Doge, Bitcoin, Ethereum, and USDC. I'm not a big personal fan of USDT and the whole tether scenario, so
Yeah.
that's why I'm
Yeah.
quite clear of that. But ultimately, it's completely down to the retailer what they accept, and we're going to be releasing more later down the line. However, just to launch, we just want to launch those four because if we launch with 20, we're not going to be launching for a bit further. But yeah, USDC is yeah, I think it's the lesser of two evils between USDT and
Will you guys ever make
Okay.
your own stablecoin? Is that like in the realm of possibilities for the future?
I'm I'm honestly not too certain. I mean, if I'm being full transparent, I can't see SpacePay making a token or a stablecoin or anything of that nature. In reality, the only reason we would do it would be just, another layer of financing. In all honesty, my issue is I don't have extremely deep, in-depth knowledge of creating tokens and stablecoins, etc. So I wouldn't want to enter that market without not the expert, but be extremely knowledgeable about it. And so I'm trying to keep us well clear of that unless it's extremely necessary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's a very, very risky game to play, especially in recent times. Just releasing a shitcoin and then just saying, buy that shit up, right? Not good
Yeah.
at all.
Oh yeah. And another question I had was so how do you guys profit off of transactions? Is it like a flat charge or is it based off of percentage?
So, well, there's two different ways we make money effectively. For our devices, we charge 49 per store. And then for consumers, we take a 0.5% fee. And for the retailers, we take a 0.5% transaction fee. So on average, on the transaction fee, we're about 1.5%, 2% lower uh, for the retailers. In terms of our pricing, you know, 49.99 one-time payment, so much cheaper than what other companies charge.
All right, that's cool.
What are your opinions then as a crypto guy on the 0.5% deposit fee and just the model in general?
I think it's fair. I mean, you're offering a service, right?
It doesn't even
So
seem that high at all. I think that's
yeah,
like fine.
I feel like it could be higher, right?
Yeah.
I could picture it being a lot higher, honestly. In my mind, I was thinking 3.5%. Like, little more
Yeah.
up there.
And a lot of credit card companies and stuff already charge like fees comparable to that. So it's like really, I don't think it's a
Yeah.
big deal. I wouldn't care
Yeah.
if I was like paying in crypto. I think it'd be like it's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Lester tell me one, I think a week and a half ago, he's like, I just don't get it. Why are your fees so low? And
I
he was
know.
like,
Yeah, it seems low.
yeah, yeah. Uh, the main reason it's low is because I want to give us to give the opportunity for basically loads of people to use the Hour application, right? Regardless of how much cryptocurrency they actually have in their account. I think that's important rather than making a big margin in reality.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then oh, sorry, you go, son.
Okay.
It's all you.
What exchange do you guys use to like do all these different transactions stuff, trading between different currencies?
So in terms of trading into different currencies, that's not something necessarily we do. If effectively a consumer was to pay in Bitcoin and they'd get paid in ETH, effectively the Bitcoin would go into our main wallet and the stable coins would come out of our main wallet. So it just basically come out of our actual wallet, which is built in house. So that's the only time we handle consumer funds is when it's actually being sent into our account in reality, if that makes sense. But
Okay.
that's something.
You guys have
Karen, sorry?
holdings then? Like,
Yeah.
I see. Got
Okay.
it. So that probably
And
has
then
speed advantages, right?
yeah, right?
Yeah.
Big speed advantage.
See.
But the issue with that, with the transparency with that, is because we don't want to launch straight away with that because there's a whole host of different reasons in reality. One of them is regulation, because the market we're in, regulation's not there for us. However, I'm not necessarily against regulation as a company in reality. I think it could help our business a lot and help the market a lot. Try and weed out the FTXs, etc., etc.
Yeah.
Um, one way I'm building our KYC integration, etc., etc., just because when regulation ultimately comes, which thinks is actually sooner than people think. She also works at cex.io, an exchange, it's quite a large one. She's a Ned at ours, a non-exec director. So we're building it to effectively be as regulation friendly as possible, which is where with the main wallet it becomes a bit tricky. So we're not launching with the main wallet.
Okay. So let's say hypothetically I walk into the store, right? And I go to buy a bottle of water and I go to pay. What does that process look like? So like what am I doing?
So effectively, you're picking up a bottle of water. We'll go from as soon as you walk in, you pick up the bottle of water, you take it to the counter. I'd like to pay with SpacePay. Okay. And the QR code on he effectively on the retailer side, you put in on our application on his interface, bottle of water, whatever you want to pay in. Can I pay in Ethereum? Sure. Bottle of water, Ethereum. I mean, the gas fees are going to kill you, but then QR code display, the QR code scanner on our application. It then says you want to make this payment. If you click yes, it'll scan your face or ask for your password for 2FA. If you say yes, then your cryptocurrency is sent from your wallet.
Okay.
We have guidelines as to what to pay with, not don't, and what not to pay with, not rules, but yeah, don't buy a bowl of water with ETH because that might triple with the right. But if you want to, obviously, you can. It's no big deal to us, but just to help you guys out.
Yeah. And so do you
Yeah,
guys have it? Oh,
sorry,
sorry.
please.
You go. No, you go.
No, please.
All right. So do you guys have an app? Like when I scan the QR code, do I go to an app or do I go to a website or how does that? What happens there?
For iOS and Android, you download the application and use it like that.
Oh,
How
okay.
did what framework is your app built on? If you don't mind me asking.
Uh, see, I don't know what I can say and what I can't say. In reality,
No
we're doing
worries.
a lot. Yeah, I'm not sure. I might leave that one out for a little bit if
No
that's right.
worries.
Just because there's a couple companies that are building the same type of thing.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
That we've launched, then we can have the exact same conversation again.
Perfect.
Sorry about that.
No worries. All right. I'll let Maseo get back to what he was gonna ask.
Um, yeah. So how do the wallets work? So the wallet pays from like it would go from whatever wallet I have. Like what platforms can I have my wallet on to
So
connect to you?
the wallet integration is our own wallet. So we created our own wallet. So it's a SpacePay wallet. So let's say deposit for a MetaMask, Binance, etc. You deposit into our SpacePay wallet for consumers, and then it's the retailer's wallet. So effectively, it's whatever wallet will allow you to send cryptocurrency in our wallets.
Okay. And then so whatever balance I put into the SpacePay wallet is what I can spend, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
But 0.5%, of course.
Yeah. Okay.
I had some questions about what are your thoughts on like the whole crypto.com thing? Have you heard of the crypto.com like credit card, debit card thing?
Yeah, for
So
sure.
that like last time I checked, they were in like hot water because of their they promised a ton of like really high
Cashback, right?
it was cash, like it was a lot of cash back and then like a ton of like benefits, like you would get like free Spotify, all of that, and it's imploded. What are your thoughts on that? And like I don't know, it seems like there's a lot of like bad press that that crypto payments get. How are you gonna like avoid that?
I mean, I think the classic mistake quite a few crypto companies tend to make is sort of going overboard with the marketing and the customer acquisition,
Yeah.
spending an fortune on adverts, stage, for example, and really giving customers extreme perks to get them in, which isn't sustainable. I guess the best way we can do it is to be giving sustainable benefits to our users. Whether we're in a bull market or a bear market, being able to offer our users the same experience is obviously important. Not saying, okay, guys, you give us 200,000, we're giving you 8% cash back and a free Lambo.
Yeah.
That's very sustainable. What we do, we are going to try and implement a cashback at some point in the near future. However, we're just launching bare bones, from in a couple of months, right? Nothing too jazzy, if I'm being honest with you. Just you'll be able to pay, you'll be able to take refunds, etc. But this will be our very first iteration, so it's nothing too crazy. But yeah, I think crypto might be in some hot water for sure.
I feel like you will get your customer acquisition like naturally, because like in the future, if people are gonna want to pay with crypto, and if you're like the way to do it in a lot of retailers, which is like what it sounds like with all of like the different contracts you've landed and stuff, people are just gonna like they're gonna want to pay with crypto, and you're gonna be the way to do so. And I don't think you need to jazz it up too much beyond that.
Yeah, I mean, let's hope so. Fingers crossed. But I mean, yeah, the partnerships do which really help us. I guess pushing this financing round over the line is definitely important as
Mhm.
well because completely bootstrapped, even not backstrap, bootstrapped from my cash and investings, etc.
Wow.
Sustainable at all for our company, if I'm being honest, which is why we're raising our round. 500,000 for 20% equity. Without that, in reality, the company is it's not looking great because to be able to finish our application, it's going to cost us, I think, £341,000. That's a lot of money,
Wow.
right? That's
Yeah.
not just the application in of itself. It's quite a few hardware elements as well
Uh-huh.
because we won, and then we're like, now I'm pivoting, trying to do this. So it's quite a lot of money. So which is why the financing round is very important to us. Luckily, we're speaking to some quite big teams, UBS, Chase, NatWest at the moment we are talking to, which has surprised me because how early stage we are. And a company called Q Ventures reached out to me last week as well, so talking to them. But yeah, this is the crunch time for sure, for sure.
How big is your team? Is it just you and you working with like different contractors and stuff, or do you have like a small group?
So in terms of well, if it, in terms of full time, it's just me.
Yeah.
I've got part-time guys on. I've got people working on our growth. I've got people working on our sales, on our marketing. My sales and marketing guys are just incredible. I've got a CTO. Obviously, I don't have him on full time yet because I can't afford all of
Yeah,
this. So I've
yeah,
got
Yeah.
trying to leverage my good relationships with them and a lack of cash to try and take us as far as we can. I'd say total 8 people,
Wow.
not including
Nice.
which. But I mean, yeah, it's when we launch, I think it'll be 10, no 11 people. So
post funding, let's say you have a successful funding round coming up. If you get the capital to do so, do you plan on bringing someone on full time? And if so, like what position would you want them to take?
Yeah, so we'll be bringing on a few people full time. In reality, mainly from the tech and the sales side of things. In
Yeah.
terms of our market, we have a guy who's working for us for free right now on an equity basis. Later
Dope.
down the line, some
Nice.
KPI stuff. So we got quite a few guys. I've managed to get quite a few guys on like equity based KPIs, which are really good
Yeah.
when we're bootstrapped. But yeah, it's mainly going to be sales and tech in reality. Obviously, development and for sales. So for sales, we plan on in the first year, I'll break it down for you. We have quite an a pessimistic
Oh,
look out look out on our first year. We want to have 16,500 users and only be in 1,550 stores. So that's completely discounting Smiths, the partnership with Smiths, discounting how many we're going to launch with. That's just how many. I don't actually think we're going to do that, but for
Yeah.
investors, I say we're going to do that because if we have a bad year and that's what we accumulate to, it look like we've hit our gut targets, but in reality, we should do much better than that, especially with the budget we're working with.
I think it's a problem with a lot of crypto companies, like over promising and under deliver. So it's refreshing to see like some more, I don't know, just conservative estimates. I like it.
Yeah,
I like it.
yeah,
yeah.
for sure. That part of the reason I did it right. I don't want to be another one of those guys comes in. Yeah, with 500,000 users,
Yeah.
we're going to store in the USA, and our token's going to be worth $1 billion. It's like, give it. Did you guys see the Paradox game that got released with I Show Speed, Fake Ronaldo,
Oh,
etc.?
I saw
yes, I
clips
did
of
see this.
it.
Yeah, it was like it was a scam, right?
Well, I'm,
Well,
I don't even know. This guy is from the UK, right? A bit of a personality, not too much so, but 100,000 followers or something of that nature. Allegedly spent 10 million on a game to get developed a AAA game. He got Speed in, paid Speed $2 million, and
It was that
overnight,
much?
that much,
Wow.
$2 million
yeah.
Dang.
overnight. His whole business has been completely destroyed. CoffeeZilla's called him a scam. They had a 2 hour interview.
CoffeeZilla, he's always there. I love that guy. He's
Oh
there to call
man.
people out.
Yeah, I watched. I don't even know why. I was like in bed. I watched a 2 hour discussion between those two the whole way through. But I think it just shows if you use Web 2 marketing, which is like how to work with influence, etc., with Web 3 products, crypto, but it's never going to work. Everyone's just going to think you're a complete scam if you use anything related to big KPI. Okay, goodbye. So trying to be extremely realistic,
Yeah.
um, set some pretty low expectations.
Dude, every time
Not,
you watch a YouTube video like that, you can like you can just say it's market research, man. You can justify it for yourself. Why am I staying up and not going to bed? Nah, market research. I'm working. Grind time.
okay, yeah. I mean, watching that unfold was pretty. I haven't seen a big cryptocurrency company in the UK with a big properly launched for a bit of time. So seeing that was a bit of a wake up call. Like, okay, when we launch, let's do this properly and let's
Yeah.
not have it, because I didn't even think his business necessarily is a scam. I just think possibly want to the whole crypto community and just wanted to guarantee results. People bought it. I don't think they're necessarily a rug pull it, but regardless, it's done now.
Yeah. I'm gonna say I want to give you an opportunity.
Huh?
I've just been
Oh,
hiding this.
oh yeah. So I have a question about earlier talking about hiring. So I know like in the tech world, it's kind of important to like hire people who are from like related areas. And so with your team, are you hiring people who have a background in crypto, or are you kind of taking them along with you?
So it's a mix of both in reality, because not only are we a cryptocurrency company, we're also a payments company. So finding the good balance between hiring staff who've worked at cryptocurrency companies and also worked at payments companies as well is quite fine. I'm trying to bring in terms of development. It's obviously important to have people who've worked in crypto projects before. But there's also, fine having some guys that are React Native experts as well come in that don't necessarily know crypto too well because plugging our API within the app. So yeah, I guess it's finding the balance between crypto and payments that I'm trying to perfect really, even though crypto in itself is kind of a payment, but it's when when it gets down to regulation, etc.
Yeah. And then
So asking what are you guys and what's your takes on the FTX thing? What's your take on just the markets in general right now and the news in China? Not too long ago, obviously, 500 million China bank frozen with $6 billion worth of cash in there. Quite
I think it's a bad look for sure. It's a bad look for crypto, but I think it doesn't take away from the core like principles of like what crypto is and like what it stands for, like decentralizing everything. So I mean, I feel like this is anticipated. Like anyone who got into crypto should have seen stuff like this coming because of the nature of it. But I think this is all just like early stage stuff that'll get ironed out in the future. It's like similar. I mean, we see these patterns over and over again with, I mean, same thing like during the dot-com bubble when everything
yeah,
like got hyped up and then like it popped. I mean, but we still see like companies like Amazon come out of it and stuff, you know? So I think even if it's in like 20 years, I think Bitcoin or like the big ones like Bitcoin, Ethereum, they'll be around. And I think in the future, as more and more people around the world get, connections to the internet and stuff, and more people can adopt crypto, it'll just, I mean, really what it's doing, what I think it has the potential to do is globalize the economy more and like connect people across different parts of the world. So I think it has its place. I think the current stuff that's going on is bad, but it was gonna happen at some point. Like someone's gonna like people are obviously gonna like try to scam people. So
yeah,
it was gonna happen. I think it's really interesting. It's kind of fun to see unfold with all like the drama and stuff. I think the FTX implosion needs a documentary ASAP. It would be really
yeah,
interesting. Yeah, that's my takes. I don't know what do you say?
yeah, so I mean, like you said, like crypto is still a great idea and it does a good job of connecting people, but it is like in a pretty bad place as of now. But I'm pretty like optimistic for the future, I guess, because it's still a good concept. I think it just has like a lot of volatility right now. And there's just so many people that like recently invested in it and a lot of like inexperienced investors as well. And
yeah,
like I feel like once everything kind of settles down, it'll be pretty steady and be around for the unforeseeable future.
yeah, for sure. I completely agree. Yeah, I completely agree. I think it's just market conditions. I think every cycle there's a thing that goes down. I can't remember, but there's a huge exchange in Canada, right? And the guy faked his own death, ran away,
Oh, I
etc.
Yeah, I heard about that. I don't
Yeah,
know what company that was.
that was way back when, right? In 2017, 18, right? Something like that, I believe,
I
possibly.
want to say it's the same guy who runs Coinbase or Nice Hash or something. One of those. He had like a company before that
I
blew
think
up.
this guy faked his own death. I think he faked his
But then
death.
didn't he come back or something?
I can't remember.
I don't know. It was all that stuff. It's like I don't know. It is a bad luck, and I think there's a lot of people who aren't trusting of crypto, but it'll just take time to like build that trust back up. Um, but on that
Yeah,
topic of like stuff
sure.
taking time, what specific you touched on this a little bit already, but what are your strategies going to be to like avoid being a victim of like the we were there too early, like wrong time, great product, but just like a little bit too early to the jump.
Yeah. I mean, I guess the biggest thing for a company like ours is in terms of if we've got the timing so dramatically wrong. If we're 20 years off, there's nothing we can do. If
Yeah.
we're 5 years off, I guess the thing we can do, which we are doing, is keeping our burn rate extremely low. So with that 500,000, we're lasting 14 months with that, which for a pre-revenue company is quite a lot. The average is about 8. So we're lasting about 14 months there, just trying to keep our cash lasting as long as possible. We're doing no outlandish investments, marketing, or anything like that. We're trying to keep our feet on the ground so that effectively, even if the market doesn't pick back up for 2 years, 3 years, or something of that nature, we're still in the game. We're still selling our product, etc. If that means we have to POS device by £5 or increase our percentage fee by 5%, so be it. But we want to be here for the long run, so no bet the company bets on my behalf for sure.
No.
That'd be crazy. You won't be seeing stadium with SpacePay's name on it for a little while. That's for sure.
SpacePay Stadium. I'm waiting on that.
It sounds
SoFi
good.
has theirs. I think we need a SpacePay Stadium. All right. I wanna get your take on a business idea. This is kind of rolling into Minnow Tank, but it's related to what we're talking about. So I think I'm allowed to talk about this. I think I am. I hope I am. Um. So maybe back like I don't even. Maybe it was like 3-4 months ago at this point. Some buddies of mine were working on a crypto business, and that's why I was interested in like you as a guest and everything. I thought I could get your take on this, but similar to you, but also not, but like also kind of similar. Um, it was an idea was like basically doing crypto microfinancing, or not microfinancing, but also like larger loans for like developing areas and stuff. There are some companies doing this, and there are companies doing this with like cash already, but the idea was that you could send crypto and get it to these places faster, and then they could spend like in developing areas, people who need to like start businesses and stuff can just get crypto. And I think how it relates to your business is like that the whole like idea of speed with crypto, be able to get it to places faster. But I think this one is like definitely a case of that kind of too early, not the
Yeah,
right timing for that. So who knows if it'll be reborn again in like 5 years, but I just want to get your takes on that.
I think, in all honesty, I think the best way to do it, I think, would just be just to reach out, just try. Don't put necessary cash involved with it or anything like that, but just reach out to some potential consumers and say, hey, this is something I plan on doing. I think it'll work like this, but don't quote me on that. Would
Yeah.
this be something? Do a bit of an outreach campaign like that. See if there's any appetite. If there's well, dependent on the size of the appetite, right? If it's one guy out of 1,000, that's not. But depending on the percentage of appetite wise, I think go for it if the appetite's there. If it's not, possibly wait and do the same thing with different guys every year until the appetite's right. I don't see any harm in that. It costs nothing but time, and being so young, we've got bags of it.
Right? No, we talked about it. We're like, oh, should we go like I mean, before we like actually start like building anything, of course, we'd like go visit like the markets that our product is aimed at. That would just take a little bit of commitment, getting like flights to like South America and stuff. But no, well, maybe you'll see that company born in the next 5 years. I don't know. Maseo, I want to give you a chance to ask your questions before I get into my final ones.
Oh yeah, well, okay. This is kind of related to what you just said. Is like
Perfect.
market research. So how did you go about doing market research for SpacePay? Did you just walk in the like stores, talk to managers, or how did that go?
Yeah, so effectively, it was just me and my head of sales, Nick, who wasn't my head of sales at the time, just walking into stores. Hey, doing a retail questionnaire. Hey, we're doing this. You like it? And just doing that over and over and over and over again.
Love that.
Um, is where we couldn't walk in. Just give them a call. Hi, we're doing this. Would this be of interest? Basically, also say, so we've got a questionnaire. We've got about 15 questions in, but we've got so many retail. We ask questions too about their percentage fees, how much they take as a payment, what they pros they think would be of accepting crypto. The cons, almost always the con was the volatility, and we basically just did it over and over again until we had an idea of would this be something the market wants? Yes, but the volatility, okay, how do we address that, etc., etc., etc. So that's what we did. Recently, we did the same thing again with our actual product. Hey, we're releasing this soon, and we got about 70% approval rate from our targeted retailers, which is good. So this isn't just your average retailers; these are our sort of targeted ones. So more luxury goods, high-end stuff, rather than just a bakery. Hey, do you want pound, 2 pound sausage roll or something. It's more tailored to our target market, but yeah, it's the 70% approval
One day I'll be able to buy my loaf of bread with Bitcoin. One day.
rate for sure.
Oh yeah, kind of speaking on the loaf of bread. I was kind of curious, like, so is this once your product launches, can any business just put it into their systems, or do they have to like have a certain brand deal with you?
So effectively, what do you mean? Sorry, in terms of the brand deal with us, do
Like
they have to put?
yeah, like you said, you have a deal with that one company that had a lot of stores. Like, could only those stores have your system, or could like a small business come and buy your
Yeah,
product? Sorry.
yeah, of course. So effectively, any business can accept SpacePay in reality. I guess the caveat is only our application will work with our QR code scanner, so you couldn't walk in and scan the QR code on Binance and make a payment like that. And that's not how it works. It would only work within our own network. However, yeah, if wants to accept cryptocurrency using SpacePay, all they have to do is make the payment. $49.99. Do a bit of we've got to do a bit of research on their end when they apply to be a retailer, so we know they're not selling drugs, guns, arms, etc.
Yeah.
But apart from that, yeah, it's open to pretty much anyone.
So there is like a slight vetting process that you guys do before, like you can't just like go on to SpacePay, make an account, and then like there's like
No,
an approval process.
there's more of a vetting process for our retailers than there are consumers, just because
Yeah,
we want to know what they're spending.
yeah.
Yeah.
They don't want to just be facilitating dark web payments constantly. But yeah, so yeah, that's effective.
Got it.
Maseo, you and for you, Sam. Am I pronouncing your name right? First of
Huh?
all, I don't know.
It's Maseo, but you're close though.
I
It's
apologize for
closer
that.
than a lot of people get with
Yeah,
Maseo's name.
you should see where it goes.
But when did you start investing, and what did you first invest in?
So I started first investing when I was probably about maybe 13. I'm 16 now, but at 13, I my first purchase was it was Dogecoin on Robinhood, and I got in at 0.007 cents, I believe, like a long time ago, and I sold I think at 0.006, which which is that was the start of it. Uh, I started with like $50, I think, and I got it up to like $100 doing stupid option tradings that I saw on Reddit, and then I kind of just started following that stuff, and I put more money in, and it worked for a while until it stopped working. Just like post COVID, like out of the bubble. Um, yeah, that's pretty much my investing story, and Sam's is pretty similar, involving
Yeah.
the fall in the Reddit trades.
Huh? Dude, I played the Reddit trades like the greatest trader of all time. All right, not to flex, but I bought AMC when it was like $15, and I wrote it and I sold at literally the peak. I don't think it got any higher than when I sold. I sold at like $65 or something. So that was a pretty austere move. But no, I started trading like what was in November of like 2020, I want to say. So do you remember?
That sounds right. Yeah, right around
Something
then.
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like
So
right around Christmas. Yeah, it's
yeah.
probably then.
The first thing I ever bought was AMD stock, but that was just like the first out of like a ton of companies that I wanted to own. I just bought a ton of stuff that like I was buying personally. Like I'm all right. I'm buying an AMD CPU. I'm just gonna. That was like my logic going into, which I think isn't like flawed logic. I think it's like it's pretty good. Now I just hold like a ton of. I'm kind of lame. I don't know. I just have a ton of like ETFs and index funds. I still hold a lot of Apple, and a lot of like electric car companies. I think we both had an addiction with
Oh my god.
EV companies for a while, and I still have like a little bit of Neo and Xpeng and stuff like that.
Which EVs specifically?
Yeah, so it was you had Canoe, a lot of Canoe.
Oh my, that was the worst mistake of my. That was my biggest loss I've ever taken.
No,
That
really?
was my biggest. Yeah, that was my biggest loss ever.
That
I
was
lost
fun.
like I lost like 40% of the investment.
um,
So
Neo,
bad.
we both had a lot of Neo. You had Neo before me,
Oh, I
but
had Neo
then
so low, and I sold it like 30 or so, and I think it rallied to like 60
but
something.
then now it's
But
back down to like $10. So you're
oh,
fine.
okay, so I'm
You,
fine.
yeah. So Neo, Xpeng, Lucid Motors. I played
Oh,
Lucid like
Lucid
a
Motors.
champion. Not gonna lie, I kind of sold that at its peak too. No, I think those are like we never got Tesla because we just
Um,
assumed that we were too late to it. I never owned
yeah,
any.
or I had a fractional share of Tesla, and I think early 2020, like $600, like pre split. And if I would have kept that like $100 I had in there, I think you'd be like 900 now or something. I don't know, but
You can get
yeah,
Tesla
I
for
can't
half
live in
off
the
right now if
past.
you
I
want.
can't live in the past.
Yeah.
No, well, I mean, I think my greatest loss was off an investment. I think currently down about 86% on that investment from one of the cryptocurrencies, and it wasn't even Bitcoin. It was a decentralized finance product. The market cap was huge, absolutely destroyed. But crypto man than stock man. To be honest, I have a stock portfolio. I have, every time I can, I kind of sell it and buy more crypto. I
Yeah.
can't lie. That's
Dude,
another
I'm
bit.
I'm lame. I just get Bitcoin.
Oh, come
I'm
on.
I'm too scared to get anything else. I know I should like sell and get some Ethereum or something. But so, do you just hold Bitcoin too?
Oh, did we just lose them? Oh
No,
no, we
we're
did.
good.
Okay, sorry. I have Bitcoin. I sadly have Ethereum, and
Sadly, is it not? I thought it was like doing.
dude, it's like
Okay,
1400 right now.
wait. So
Oh,
I
yeah,
should like.
Isn't you could
Well,
it's 1,200 right now. Dollars.
1200? No, even better.
but Bitcoin's also low. So like the transaction rate between Bitcoin and Ethereum is what you really want to compare, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. We both like we have like GPUs that we like mine off of, just like our personal computers, and then like extra hardware we have laying around. So that's how we've gone. That's how I've really gotten like all of my crypto pretty much. Um,
Yeah.
just through mining. But I don't know. I should definitely like sell some of my or trade some of my Bitcoin for Ethereum. I think those are like the two I really believe in the most. Just because
Yeah,
I like they're like the blue chips of cryptocurrencies.
yeah, we'll have to see how. I'm not too bullish on ETH at the moment. We'll have to see how it properly performs post merge, because I think during the NFT break around Christmas March time, the fees were absolutely disgusting. The
Yeah.
amount of
Yeah.
fees, it was just awful. I'm not sure if ETH V2 doesn't work out properly. I'm not sure where ETH stands in the market. In reality, we'll have to wait and see, the next bull run what happens. But I don't have too much confidence, especially not with the news. You heard about Gemini, right? And what's happening. So effectively, or no,
I
with what
oh
Gemini.
I haven't heard about Gemini.
Yeah, me
Explain.
neither.
So effectively, Gemini are facing a liquidity problem because of FTX. They
Oh,
need to dollars by Monday, and if they don't, they can file for bankruptcy. They're owned by G, which runs Grayscale, etc. It's all owned by DCG, which could also go under if they don't raise $1 billion by Monday.
wait, they own
So,
Grayscale?
yeah, the DCG owns Grayscale.
Okay,
Was
I
the
think I sold my Grayscale trust, my Bitcoin trust stuff from a while ago. I'm pretty sure I don't own any of that, so we're good. As long as
not they're the rumors is that they have to raise $1 billion by Monday, otherwise
No way.
it's just rumors. I've heard them from quite reliable sources, so I will have to see what's going on. But it doesn't. It's a real house of cards piece at the moment. Use the whole FTX thing. It really is, and I don't know how Crypto.com will fare either.
believe and achieve billion is no problem. Just like I know, no. The thing is, like a year ago, a billion was not a problem. You could go to like any VC in like Silicon Valley and just like ask for money, and they'd give it to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, the issue is now I think the VCs actually want to check their finances, whereas a year ago,
Yeah, I know.
your revenue, okay, check. But now you actually have to do some sort of financing and some like, oh, well, we're not been profitable at all, and our revenue's horrific. All it is just marketing, spend in reality, right? So
Yeah.
Yeah.
that could be very, very bad news. So we'll have to see how that goes down as well.
All right. Maseo, do you have any other final questions before I get into my
Oh,
last couple?
actually, I do have one question. Max, what are your opinions on NFTs? How do you feel about them?
So I'm not personally invested in and/or own any NFTs at all. I
Same.
haven't
Yeah, me neither.
behind it. However, I think so much more than digital pictures and pictures of a dog or a board ape, anything like that. I think the utility of NFTs and the technology behind it is extremely useful. And and could bring a lot of use case to the world, to which digital passports, etc., which I think are very useful. However, I don't necessarily see the utility in any of these NFTs. Bar Bored Ape Yacht Club, okay, but is that really worth $500,000? I'm not sure. So I think I'm not bullish on NFTs. That's all, to be honest. But any meet or something, everyone's like, "Oh," I'm like, "What are you doing?" They're like, "Oh yeah, I run an NFT game, or I'm releasing an NFT." Okay, cool. It's like, yeah, I don't know, but everyone seems bullish on it. I think just because they can make £3 million and leave. In reality, it's far from that.
I think we have the exact same opinion. Like, I think the technology is cool. Like you said, digital passports. I need my digital driver's license, dude. Why do I have to carry this thing around? I don't know. Like, at least in the U.S., there's like 10 states that have this already. Maybe this is a minnow tank idea. Maybe this counts for that
Well,
segment. I think if anyone
Yeah,
wants to, like, I feel like there's already like some companies working on this. You'd have to do a lot of like government work and like working with state governments. But if I can add my driver, I need to be able to add my driver's license to my Apple Wallet. Like,
but
why isn't
can't
that
you?
a thing? No, you
I think
can't. Not in
you can't put
California.
can't you put a picture? Like
Picture
I
like
think it
maybe counts.
I
Like
think I
they
think it'll take a picture of it.
what?
yeah, but
Not
pictures don't really. You can't use a picture in the UK anyway. You can't show someone a picture of your ID. They hate that stuff. You show them a
yeah.
picture.
I think a picture actually works here. I've seen it happen before.
I think like the cops will be like, do you have a picture if you forgot your license? But you're still
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
legally supposed to be carrying around your license, your physical license at all time, which
yeah, yeah, yeah.
is so outdated. And I think only like 10 states accept digital driver's license and digital ID. I don't know why more. I think it's gonna happen in the future. But I think like that's like a
Yeah,
really good use case for like NFTs and stuff like that. The whole
Yeah.
digital art thing is kind of, I don't know.
yeah. I'm not.
Like truly digital art, if it's like really art, if it's like real art, if it's not like a dog with sunglasses, that's fine. But the moment you get it, I mean, the other stuff, it's just like, I don't know, like all of its value, all like these NFT projects, all their value comes from like whatever celebrity they have promoting it at the moment. And then once like those people dip, then like it's not worth anything. I don't
Yeah,
know.
I can. I think Beeple. I think is that his name. Beeple
Yes.
is the artist. I think his work's really cool.
Yeah.
I think I don't know if the price necessarily equates to that, but that's a whole different conversation regarding art, right? But I think he's really cool and the stuff he's working on is awesome. But I think a lot of it, they're rubbish.
Yeah.
That's just my.
I agree.
Is that guy the one that makes the art you can like zoom in on? Is that you guys talking about?
No, so but that art's cool.
That it's so
No,
crazy.
Yeah.
people does like it's like glass boxes that like walk around it. I don't know.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
I think you sold the most expensive NFT ever. It was like 67 million or something like that, or possibly even more. Let me look now.
It was the one like the scuba diver, right? No, is that
I'm
something
not.
else?
No, I think Beeple's one was him on a planet or someone walking
Oh,
across
is
the
that what it
planet.
was?
And yeah, I think it sold for just under $100 million or something.
That's crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot. But yeah, for the minnow, really a bad idea.
Mhm.
If the market flooded with competitors, it's not a great sign. But
Yeah.
there's niches in different countries of which won't someone might not have thought about that. Where you can try and have a look, maybe somewhere in South.
Catch me. I'm about to book my flight. I'm gonna find whatever the country hasn't thought about this yet. I'm just gonna zoom over there.
But for sure, not a bad idea. I
Yeah.
true use.
All right. Let's see. Any last things for you?
No, no, that's it.
All right. I have two final questions. One, when can I use SpacePay in the US? Like, do you guys any plans for like future expansion? Like, I need to be able to buy myself with crypto. How can I do this? And how are you gonna squash everyone else trying to do this in the US? Or are you not
Yeah,
going
I
to?
mean,
Is it not just part of just
I
UK?
guess I guess, well, effectively, I'll give you the roadmap. Effectively, UK, and then 9 months later, UAE, so Dubai, Abu Dhabi, etc. After that, India and Europe at the same time. So I've got good connections within a payments company in India called Paytm, largest
Cool.
payment company. Um, and, and Nigeria as well, largest cryptocurrency holdings in the world is in Nigeria. My issue with America is You guys have got the biggest exchanges.
Yeah.
You guys competitive market. And if you go to probably 10 people already working on this. So it's effectively, I'm targeting markets where I've got good existing relationships, which can make SpacePay grow at crazy levels and aren't necessarily leveraging this technology already. Whereas effectively, we would only go to America if we're a large organization acquiring a small one, I think is in my personal opinion. Because there's undoubtedly someone already working on it there.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see though, right? Only time will tell.
Yeah. All right. Last thing. Throughout your journey of like starting a business, what have been like your favorite like tips or like frameworks, just general like hacks you've come across for like doing this as someone who's young?
That's a good question. Can you say it again? Because I started thinking about
Yeah,
the
just
question again.
like any like general like hacks almost that you found that you can like leverage only while you're someone who's young. Like something that's like kind of exclusive to being a young person that you can take advantage of. Like we've talked about this a little bit in the past. How at least for starting like a small business, our we like to like abuse like our local community and like our high schools and stuff because a lot of people want to like support that type of thing. So, but I don't know about like a larger scale if there are any that you know of.
I mean, in terms of hacks, no, I'm sadly finding it. I'm finding everything, is is in reality twice as hard because of my age and the
Yeah.
industry I'm working. Um, I guess, I guess,
I mean, you did say earlier the whole like thing with
you could do is leverage connections, I guess, and
yeah.
have the incentivized KPIs with people you can see yourself working with in the long run. So, for example, if you get a team of C-suite guys who you think, okay, you could work when we're nothing, but you could also work here when we're huge. Give them equity based so that when even if you've got no cash, they know if you all guys work as a team and work hard enough, you can get to a point where that equity is worth something. They can exit and make a good amount of money. I think is very important. And also, I think don't be afraid to fail. I think should be the biggest right for sure. Don't be afraid to fail, but try and do everything you can to minimize failure as well.
Yeah.
But if you're going to fail, definitely learn from the mistakes. Don't just fail and just do the same again.
And that's the biggest thing. Fail while you're young. Experiment while
Yeah.
you're young. Because
Yeah.
like you said, well once you have the wife and 2 kids, it's a little bit tougher. All right. This is super fun. Max, thanks for coming on. Where can people find you and what you're doing? Like
I'm pretty bad on social media, but I guess on Instagram, Bunting, but I don't post on that at all. Twitter, I'm gonna start posting on LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, etc. And on all platforms, it's just Max Bunting.
cool. And then your website for SpacePay, if you want to plug that real quick. I don't know. I mean, our
It's
audience is mainly US, but still.
.co.uk, I guess HTTPS, spacebay.co.uk. But yeah, you can find us on Instagram, TikTok, Twitter. We don't have any posts yet because I'm bad at that. I'm going to start. It's just SpacePay and Max Bunting. Thank you guys. It's been a real pleasure. I'm really enjoying it.
Cool. This is super fun. All right.
This is awesome.
For all of yours, we'll be back next week. Mark your calendars. Max, this is great. I'm excited to see where this goes. We'll keep in touch.
For sure. Thank you guys. Have a good one.
All right.
Yeah,
See ya.
you too.